There are a couple things that I really hate that carriers do when it comes to how they network manage. Obviously, the soft cap of data where they deprioritize you after like a certain threshold, that sucks. But that's not even really like the worst. The worst, I think, my personal opinion, is when they throttle video. They either drop your resolution or they slow you down to a point where like your video playback is disrupted. It starts to glitch, you drop frames, or it just buffers and playback is completely disrupted. Literally the worst thing that could possibly happen while you're watching a video. Carriers do this a lot, no surprise there. But now we've got some actual evidence and I would say proof that it is happening at even a greater level that we actually thought it was. Stick around for the video. Let's talk about data throttling on video. What's going on, guys? It's the SMT, and in today's video we're looking at a topic that I think honestly is one of the probably the worst situations in wireless providers. A lot of us need our data connection, our LTE, to watch video. Either it's TV streaming services like Hulu Live or Sling, or maybe it's Netflix or some other type of streaming service. Whatever the case may be, whether we're using apps like YouTube or Vimeo or whatever else, we want to watch video, and obviously that's a very demanding task. It takes a lot of bandwidth. Obviously networks need to be managed, but I think it comes to a point where, too much is just too much. So there was a study conducted here, and some researchers from I believe a university, analyzed what networks are doing in terms of the providers in managing and throttling video. So, how bad do carriers actually throttle your video speeds? I mean, it's a direct correlation to quality and your playback resolution. So wireless carriers obviously have been throttling video for a while. It's not new. They've been doing this for a couple of years now, if not longer, depending on your carrier. I think they all do. I'm not trying to pick on any one carrier. I'm not in a position to say T-Mobile does it more or less, or AT&T does it more or less. They're all doing it on some level, and I think some carriers maybe in worse ways. But they're all doing it, and it varies by carrier, it varies by application, and as well as some other factors. But in terms of what we have from the research, there is an app, and it's spelled W-E-H-E, Weehe maybe, I don't know, developed by the University of Massachusetts Amherst and Northeastern University, collected some crowdsourced data from January and May of 2018, so that dates back to last year, and then January of 2019. As early as the beginning of this year. So here are some of the results that I found interesting. T-Mobile throttles Amazon Prime Video 51% of the time. They throttle NBC 64% of the time. Netflix 61% of the time. YouTube 67%. Vimeo 5% of the time. And they do not throttle Skype. To give you a comparison, AT&T does not throttle Amazon Prime Video. No data on the NBC that I found in this article. 70% of the time they are throttling Netflix. YouTube gets throttled 74% of the time, and AT&T does not throttle Vimeo or Skype. So they throttle more than on Netflix than T-Mobile, and they throttle more on the YouTube side than T-Mobile as well. So AT&T throttling Netflix and YouTube very heavily. I just find this interesting because AT&T has been quoted in the past as saying it doesn't throttle data, it doesn't discriminate or degrade network performance based on content. Lies. I mean, here it is. Let's call it like it is, right? Not to leave Verizon or Sprint innocent, they're also throttling heavily. Verizon actually has two throttle settings. They do one throttle at 4 megabits per second and a different throttle at 2 megabits per second. This all depends on the level of priority you have based on your plan. And, this obviously accounts for a lot of the throttle that anytime you're streaming any video on Verizon, you're subjected to one of these two throttling limits. And like I said, Sprint is throttling too. I'll link in the description, I'll link the original PDF and you guys can take a look at it. It's pretty detailed. AT&T's got that stream save option, where it's like 1.5 megabits per second. To help people save on data or whatever. It kind of brings you down to 480p. The throttle amongst all carriers occurs anytime throughout the day. So it's not even necessarily a time, hey, the network's getting bogged down, we got to slow you down temporarily. It's all the time. They're throttling video heavily. So it's not just at certain times. And actually, it even depends on the app, as you guys could see. So they were doing it some of the time, and then other times, more frequently with certain apps. I really miss net neutrality. That was kind of a good law. Carriers had to abide by the rules of net neutrality, and that has gone by the wayside. SMT's takeaways on this story, this throttling story, video throttling is probably my biggest gripe from wireless carriers. I mean, I hate the soft cap deprioritizing, but this may be worse because there's nothing worse than a blurry video or a video that doesn't play back continuously and gets buffered. And, decreased video resolution obviously sucks. You're trying to watch something full HD and you can't. Your carrier's got you at 480p or even 720p, and other times it's getting disrupted and it's buffering. So, I mean, let me know what you guys think of this story. Not news at all, honestly. The study is new, but we're not surprised by this. I don't think anybody is. But I think it was interesting to see the amount of throttle each carrier is doing, depending on the app and how they're doing it. So let me know if you found this video informative. You can go ahead and drop me a line in the comment section below, or go ahead and like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Bell notify yourself so you never miss an upload from the SMT YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more involved with the SMT community, we've got the Discord server and the Patreon page. Links in the description for both of those communities if you'd like to join. And if you would like to help support SMT production here on the YouTube channel, there is a PayPal share link down in the description box if you'd like to leave a small or occasional monetary donation. Thank you guys for watching this video. I am the SMT, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.